निवेदन मोर मन मोर चाहि सेविबाकु सदा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर मन मोर चाहि सेविबाकु सदा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर जननी जननी इह परकाय जननी जननी इह परकाय साथी का तुमी मोरा साथी का तुमे मोरा तुमको न कही कहरी कहीं भी तुमको न कही कहरी कहीं भी दुख जहाँ हृदय दुख जहाँ हृदय दिया भगति बाधिकार मन मोर चाहि सेविबाकु सदा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर मन मोर चाहि सेविबाकु सदा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर मुक्ति मुक्ति दाता दयार सागर मुक्ति मुक्ति दाता दयार सागर प्रणति मोखिन कर प्रणति मोखिन कर अधम जोगा अगुणर बोली अधम जोगा अगुणर बोली कर नहीं मति पार कर नहीं मति पार दर्शना जोड़ी कर दर्शना जोड़ी कर मन मोर चाहि सेविबाकु सदा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर मन मोर चाहि सेविबाकु सदा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर श्री चरण रेणु नंदिबाकु श्री चरण रेणु नंदिबाकु मन मोहि अधीरा मन मोहि अधीरा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर मन मोर चाहि सेविबाकु सदा सेहि श्रीरंग पायर सेहि श्रीरंग पायर।
जय गुरु अंजलि माँ बोधे अपन लाइन म्यूट अच्छे। त्याला आउट ठीक आहे.
आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा पासुरा बारी हृदय परा सुख पासुरा आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा हसी हसी शिशु जाऊछि लौटी हसी हसी शिशु जाऊछि लौटी फूटी उठी फूला बस चहटी फूटी उठी फूला बस चहटी আজি उछुई आनंद भुवन सराजी उछुई आनंद भुवन सरा आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा खिड़ी जाई हस पवन बड़ी खिड़ी जाई हस पवन बड़ी भासी जाई बस मृदु हिल्लड़ी भासी जाई बस मृदु हिल्लड़ी हसी मिसी भासी सुबस धरा जी हसी मिसी भासी सुबस धरा आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा आनंद स्वरूपा प्रेम पसरा।
ধান জয় গুরু নাম আজি প্রাণে উছুলে আজি ভকত ডাকই আকুল সুরে ফুলকে ঝলকে ভকত পরাণ পলক ন পড়ে হেরি আকুল নয়ন ফুলকে ঝলকে ভকত পরাণ
ভববন্ধন মোচন পূজ্যবর গুণহীনাম শেষ গুণাধিপতিম ভবভীরুজনে সতা তন্দরদম প্রণমামি গুরু শিব কল্পতর প্রণমামি গুরু শিব কল্পতর।
জয় গুরু। কিরে ভাগ্য মোরা অতি ঠাকুরা চরণ সেবারে জীবন বিতুছে চরণ সেবারে জীবন বিতুছে আউ মোর লোড়া নাহি কিছু আউ মোর লোড়া নাহি কিছু কেড়ে ভাগ্য মোর সতী ঠাকুর তুম শরণ পাইয়াছি ଦେଇଛ ଜୀବନେ ଯେଣୁ ଧରା ତୁମ ସଙ୍ଗ ସୁଖ ପାସରା ଦେଇଛ ଜୀବନେ ଯେଣୁ ଧରା ତୁମ ସଙ୍ଗ ସୁଖ ପାସରା ସକଳ ବାସନା ପୂରଣ ହୋଇଛି ସକଳ বাসনা পূরণ হয়েছে তুম পদ সেবা মিলিয়াছি তুম পদ সেবা চরণ সেবারে জীবন বিতুছে চরণ সেবারে জীবন বিতুছে আউ मोर लोड़ा नाही किछि आउ मोर लोड़ा नाही किछि तेरे भाग्य मोरा साथी ठकुरा तुम शरण चरण वंदना करुथाई नेत्रुनीर ढाली धोई दे चरण वंदना करुथाई नेत्रुनीर ढाली धोई दे मन सुमन रे सजाई से पद मन सुमन रे सजाई से पद सौरभ आघ्राण करुअछि जीवन विदुजी चरण सेवारे जीवन विदुजी आउ मोर लोड़ा नाही किछि आउ मोर लोड़ा नाही किछि तेरे भाग्य मोरा सते ठकुरा तुम शरण पाइअछि पाइबाकु आउ नाही किछि तुम कृपा देबे मिलिअछि पाइबाकु आउ नाही किछि तुम कृपा देबे मिलिअछि कृतज्ञता भरा अंजलि मुखेन कृतज्ञता भरा अंजलि मुखेन पद शांति देव ढालुअछि पद शांति देव ढालुअछि चरण सेवारे सेवारे जीवन विदुजी आउ मोर लोड़ा नाही किछि आउ मोर लोड़ा नाही किछि केरे भाग्य मोरा सते ठकुरा तेरे भाग्य मोरा सते ठकुरा तुम शरण पाइअछि तुम शरण पाइअछि तुम शरण पाइअछि जय
जय गुरु सेविकांक स्वीकृति मु ठाकुर श्री श्री निगमानंद सरस्वती देवंको मु ठाकुर श्री श्री निगमानंद सरस्वती देवंको एकमात्र गुरु एवं इष्ट रूपे वरण करिअछि एकमात्र गुरु एवं इष्ट रूपे वरण करिअछि एवं तांका प्रदत्त जय गुरु सिद्ध मंत्र ग्रहण करी एवं तांका प्रदत्त जय गुरु सिद्ध मंत्र ग्रहण करी नीलाचल सारस्वत संघ पुरीଙ୍କ निर्देशरे परिचालित हेबा पई स्वीकृति प्रदान करूछि नीलाचल सारस्वत संघ पुरीଙ୍କ निर्देश ଉଦ୍ଦେଶ୍ୟରେ ପରିଚାଳିତ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ସ୍ୱୀକୃତି ପ୍ରଦାନ କରୁଅଛି। ଠାକୁର କହୁଛନ୍ତି, ବତ୍ସ ମୁଁ ସଦ୍ଗୁରୁ, ମୋ ଭିତରେ ଜଗଦ୍ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ଇଚ୍ଛା ହିଁ ଲୀଳାୟିତ ହୋଇ ଉଠିଛି। ତୁମମାନଙ୍କୁ ମୁକ୍ତିପଥ ପ୍ରଦର୍ଶନ କରାଇବା ହିଁ ମୋର କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ। ଯେଉଁମାନେ ମୋ ଉପରେ ନିର୍ଭର କରି ବସିଛ, ମୁଁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ହାତ ଧରି ମୁକ୍ତିଧାମକୁ ନେଇଯିବି। ତୁମ ଠାକୁର ସଦ୍ଗୁରୁ, କେବଳ ଏତିକି ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ଥିବା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ। ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର। ମା ମାନଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଉପଦେଶ। ମା, ମାତୃତ୍ୱରେ ହୃଦୟ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ କର, ରମଣୀତ ଶୈତାନ ଉଚ୍ଛିଷ୍ଟ। ସୁତରାଂ ଜନନୀତ ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଶ୍ରୀ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ପବିତ୍ର ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି ଅନ୍ୟ କାହାରି ନୟନଗୋଚର ହୁଏ ନାହିଁ। ସେ ସର୍ବତ୍ର ବିଦ୍ୟମାନ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଭକ୍ତର ଉପଯୁକ୍ତ ଅବସ୍ଥା ନ ଆସିବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେ ସମ୍ମୁଖକୁ ଆସି ଦର୍ଶନ ଦାନ କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ। ସେ ସଂସାର ବହ୍ନିରେ ଭକ୍ତକୁ ଜଳାଇ ପୋଡ଼ାଇ ଉପଯୁକ୍ତ କରିନିଅନ୍ତି। ମୁଁ ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ କରୁଛି, ତୁମେ ସେହି ମାତୃତ୍ୱରେ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠିତ ହୁଅ ଏବଂ ଚିରଦିନ ନିମିତ୍ତ ସେହି ମାତୃସତ୍ତାରେ ବିଲୀନ ହୋଇଯାଅ। ତୁମେମାନେ ମୋର ଅନ୍ତରଙ୍ଗ ଭକ୍ତ। ସୁତରାଂ ତୁମେମାନେ ସଂସାର ତାପରେ ତାପିତ ହୋଇ ଅଶାନ୍ତି ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଥାଇ ଭଗବତ ମହିମା ପ୍ରଚାର ନ କଲେ ଆଉ କରିବ କିଏ? ସ୍ୱଗଣ ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଆଉ କେହି ଯେ ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଦେଇପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ଭଗବାନ କବି ମୁଖରେ କହିଛନ୍ତି, ପରୀକ୍ଷାୟ ନୟ ମମ ସ୍ୱଗଣ କାତର। ମା, ଏ ସଂସାର ମାୟାର ଖେଳଘର, ଅଜ୍ଞାନତାର ମୋହିନୀ ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ସୁଖ ଯେ ବାହାରେ ନାହିଁ, ଅଛି ନିଜ ଅନ୍ତରରେ। ସୁଖ ଭୋଗରେ ନାହିଁ, ଅଛି କେବଳ ତ୍ୟାଗରେ ବା ଯୋଗରେ। ବାହ୍ୟ ବିଷୟ ସଂସ୍ପର୍ଶରେ ଯେଉଁ ସୁଖ, ତାହା ଆସକ୍ତି, ପାପ, କଳୁଷିତ। ମନ ଦ୍ୱାରା ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ସ୍ୱରୂପ ଉପଲବ୍ଧି ହିଁ ପ୍ରକୃତ ନିର୍ମଳ ପବିତ୍ର ସୁଖ। ତୁମେ ମନ ପ୍ରାଣ ପବିତ୍ର କରି ସଚିଦାନନ୍ଦ ଶ୍ରୀ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ନାମ ରୂପ ଚିନ୍ତା କର ଓ ମୁଖରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଜୟ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କର। ଯେତେ ପରିମାଣରେ ଚିତ୍ତ ଶୁଦ୍ଧ ଭାବ ଧାରଣ କରିବ, ସେତେ ପରିମାଣରେ ତୁମେ ନିର୍ମଳ ସୁଖ ଅନୁଭବ କରିପାରିବ। ସେତେବେଳେ ବାହିକ ସୁଖ ଦୁଃଖରେ କିମ୍ବା ଲୋକଙ୍କ କଥାରେ ମନ ବିଚଳିତ ହେବ ନାହିଁ ଓ ସାଂସାରିକ ଘାତ ପ୍ରତିଘାତରେ ଅଶାନ୍ତି ଭୋଗ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ନାହିଁ। ଏହା ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଶାନ୍ତି ଲାଭର ଅନ୍ୟ ପନ୍ଥା ନାହିଁ। ବସ୍ତେ ପୁତ୍ର କନ୍ୟାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଭଗବତ ଜ୍ଞାନରେ ସୁଖ ପାଇ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଯତ୍ନ ନିଅ। ଗୁରୁଜନମାନଙ୍କର ଅବାଧ୍ୟ ହୋ ନାହିଁ। ଯଥାସାଧ୍ୟ ଦୀନ ଦୁଃଖୀମାନଙ୍କର ଉପକାର କର। କେବେ ହେଲେ ଆଚାର ଲଙ୍ଘନ କର ନାହିଁ। ମା, ତୁମେ ବାହ୍ୟ ବିଷୟରୁ ସୁଖାଶା ତ୍ୟାଗ କରି ଅନ୍ତରର ଅନ୍ତରତମ ପ୍ରଦେଶରେ ବୁଡ଼ିଯାଇ ମୋତେ ଖୋଜିଲେ ଦେଖିବ, ମୁଁ ଜଗଜ୍ଜନନୀକୁ କୋଳରେ ଧରି ତୁମ ହୃଦୟ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ କରି ବସି ରହିଛି। ବତ୍ସେ, ସେତେବେଳେ ଯାଇ ତୁମର ସମସ୍ତ ଅଭାବ ଦୂର ହେବ। ତୁମେ କେବଳ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ସର୍ବସ୍ୱ ସମର୍ପଣ କରି ସର୍ବାନ୍ତକରଣରେ ତାଙ୍କରି ନାମ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କରିଯାଅ। ବତ୍ସେ, ବାହାରେ ମୋର ଦର୍ଶନ ନ ପାଇଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ତୁମର କିଛି ମାତ୍ର କ୍ଷତି ହେବ ନାହିଁ। ବାହିକ ବିଷୟ ମାତ୍ରକେ ମାଇକ ବୋଲି ଜାଣିବ। ତୁମେ ମୋତେ ଅନ୍ତରରେ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବାକୁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କର। ବାହ୍ୟ ଦେହ ଦ୍ୱାରା ବାହ୍ୟ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରିବ ଓ ଅନ୍ତରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଧରି ରଖିଥିବ। ମା, ମୁଁ ଦେହସ୍ଥ, ଏହା ଭୁଲି ମୁଁ ତୁମର ହୃଦୟସ୍ଥ ବୋଲି ଚିନ୍ତା କର। ଦୂରତ୍ୱର ବ୍ୟବଧାନ ଘୁଞ୍ଚିଯିବ। ମା, ତୁମେ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ମୋତେ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବାକୁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କର। ମନେ କରିବ, ତୁମର ସ୍ୱାମୀ ଜଗତ ସ୍ୱାମୀ ଏବଂ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କର ସ୍ୱାମିତ୍ୱ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସତ୍ତା ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଅନ୍ୟ କିଛି ନୁହେଁ। ଏତିକି ଭାବନାରେ ନାରୀ ଜନ୍ମ ସାର୍ଥକ ହୋଇଯିବ। ପ୍ରାଣରେ ଅଫୁରନ୍ତ ଆନନ୍ଦର ସ୍ରୋତ ପ୍ରବାହିତ ହେବ। ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ କରୁଛି, ତୁମେ ସେହି ଭାବର ଅଧିକାରିଣୀ ହୁଅ। ସ୍ୱାମୀ ନାରୀମାନଙ୍କର ଗୁରୁ। କାୟମନ ବାକ୍ୟରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଆଦେଶ ପାଳନ ଓ ତାଙ୍କର ସେବା ହିଁ ନାରୀମାନଙ୍କର ପରମ ଧର୍ମ। ସ୍ୱାମୀ ଗୁରୁ ବ୍ରହ୍ମ ଜ୍ଞାନରେ ସୁଖ ପାଇ ଭଗବତ ନିର୍ଭରତା ରକ୍ଷା କରି ପାରିଲେ ହିଁ ନାରୀ ଜନ୍ମ ସାର୍ଥକ ହେବ। ଗୃହୀର ସ୍ୱାମୀ ସେବା ଓ ସନ୍ତାନ ପାଳନ ସ୍ୱଧର୍ମ। ତେଣୁ ନାରୀମାନଙ୍କର ସାଧନ ଭଜନ ସମୟ ଅଳ୍ପ। ସୁତରାଂ ସର୍ବଦା ଗୁରୁନାମ ଜପ କରିବାକୁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କରିବ। ସଧବା ନାରୀମାନେ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଏବଂ ବିଧବା ନାରୀମାନେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କୁ ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବେ। ଅନ୍ୟଥା ଧର୍ମ ବା ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଛାଡ଼ି କେବଳ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କ ଚିନ୍ତା କଲେ ସେଥିରେ ବିନ୍ଦୁମାତ୍ର ଉନ୍ନତି ହେବ ନାହିଁ। ମା, ଏ ଜଗତରେ ରାଜାରାଣୀ ଠାରୁ ଭିକାରୁଣୀ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ସମାନ ଭାବ। ଭାବରାଜ୍ୟରେ ଉପନୀତ ନ ହେବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ କାହାରି ଅଭାବ ଦୂର ହେବ ନାହିଁ। ମା, ତୁମେ ଜୀବଜଗତକୁ ସୁଖ ପାଇବାକୁ ଶିକ୍ଷା କର। ସକଳ ଅଭାବ ମେଣ୍ଟିଯିବ। ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
জয় বিশ্বপতি শিব স্বরূপ হে, জয় বিশ্বপতি শিব স্বরূপ হে, পরমানন্দ দায়ী চন্দ্র চূপ হে, পরমানন্দ দায়ী চন্দ্র जय संतदन्ता जगताईश्वर जय संतदन्ता जगताईश्वर जगत्पति घिना मोरा नाम सारा जगत्पति घिना मोरा नाम सारा जय साकार विबुध आश्रय जय साकार विबुध आश्रय जय ब्रह्म स्वरूप सदा जय ब्रह्म स्वरूप सदा सती प्राणाधिका प्रिय होती सरा सती प्राणाधिका प्रिय होती सरा जगत्पति घिना मोरा नाम सारा जगत्पति घिना मोरा नाम सारा जय पूज्य नमः कृताय धरा जय पूज्य नमः कृताय धरा जय स्वामी पंचायन आदित्य जय स्वामी पंचायन आदित्य जय नारायण तारका ज्ञान धरा जय नारायण तारका ज्ञान धरा जगत्पति घिना मोरा नाम सारा जगत्पति घिना मोरा नाम सारा जय पत्नी आनंद राधाय कहे जय पत्नी आनंद राधाय कहे तुम्ही ब्रह्म शिव लोकपाल कहे तुम्ही ब्रह्म शिव लोकपाल कहे पति ब्रह्म स्वरूप निर्गुण धरा पति ब्रह्म स्वरूप निर्गुण धरा जगत्पति घिना दीना नाम सारा जगत्पति घिना दीना नाम सारा जय भुवन मोहन पूर्ण इंदु जय भुवन मोहन पूर्ण इंदु जय पत्नी राधिका दया सिंधु जय पत्नी राधिका दया सिंधु दासी सर्वदोषानाथ क्षमा करो। दासी सर्वदोषानाथ क्षमा करो। तव पद अंजी कोटि नमस्कार। 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 Jai Guru. Sadhguru Swami Nityanand Updesh. Page 260. Follow the path of truth. Each and every Sadhguru of Bharat must recognize me. So your ego of sadhana will be shattered if you, on leaving me, take the shelter of any other Sadhguru. You can then understand your mistake. Today, I tell you with pride that you, in this birth, have no other way except my compassion. God has entrusted your responsibility on me to bless you. If this be false and you return to me on attaining enlightenment by the blessing of anybody else, I shall take you to my lap and dance joyfully. Or else, if you realize your mistake and return to me and take my refuge, I shall lavish all my affection and care on you as before. I must always protect you if you are on the path of truth. You are my children. If a child by chance commits a mistake, can any father remain ever angry with him? If you do anything wrong and apologize before me for such commission, won't I forgive you? You may often commit mistakes. To commit an error is not a vice. It is the go of life. Doer is human. Moreover, I am a guru. Forgiveness is my nature. I shall go on forgiving you even if you commit hundreds of mistakes. Now the country is beset with miseries in all respects. In such bad and sad hour, it is our bounden duty to completely surrender before God and spend time reciting His name. It is discreet to remain prepared always for all adversity. Take all care to be ever vigilant so that you do not lose the sight of your goal in the midst of prosperity and adversity. Dear child, suffering increases energy. Especially, I shall remain silent to observe hundreds of your good deeds, but I shall be very rigid to denounce your small mistake. My job is to emancipate you from all mistakes and impurities. How can you know the scintillating brilliancy of sacred love unless the impurities in your heart are burnt into ashes by my love and care? If God had been only merciful without being just and impartial, man would have faced ruin due to his self-consideration. Jai Guru.
जरूर है।
Palerma available now.
No problem.
Okay. Jai Guru, America Saraswata Sangha Puri, America Saraswata Sangha, 906 Sangha Puri Session Report, date and time, March 31st, 2024, 7:15 a.m. to 11:55 a.m. Eastern, Padiya Naitik, Palerma and Sonali Sama. Adivasi Puja, March 30, 2024. Adivasi Puja was held at Nigam Smriti Mandira at 7 p.m. Eastern in the presence of Sri Sri Thakura, Bhais and Mas at Mandir or via teleconference. Attendance sheet is available in the member section of the AMSA's website. First session, March 31st, 2024, 7:15 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. The morning session of the puja started at 7:15 a.m. with Pratikya. During Pratikya, Smita Bai Ma sang Asa Asa Prabhu Modina Kutire and Nilima sang Kete Chahe Nirabe Kete Khoje Morame. During that time, all the devotees joined the puja either at Nigam Smriti Mandira or via teleconference. Sanjit Bhai performed the Arati. Then Smita Raima sang the Bandana, Bandai Guru Charana and Shatra Bandana. Then Devi Das Bhai read Sri Sri Guru Gita, Sloka 76. Bhajendra Bhai read the Parichaya Patra followed by Samrani and Bhakta Nivas Nirmana Prathana. Then Bharada Bhai read Sangha Sevaka 16th year part 1, Bandana Prathana and Prathana Karinga Prati. Here we are told about ways of doing Prathana and also about the benefits of reading Shastras and Granthas. Then Palerma invited Sri Sri Thakura, Bhais, Mas and young aspirants to attend the second session. The first session was concluded with Jai Guru Mahanama. After the first session, Balya Bhoga was offered to Sri Sri Thakura and Bhais, Mas and young aspirants accepted Prasad. Second session, March 31st, 2024, 9:30 a.m. to 11:55 a.m. The second session of the puja started at 9:30 a.m. with Abhana. During Abhana, Shukanama sang Kamala Charana Kusuma Devako Manare Bhare and Nihar Bhai sang Natavara Se Asa Rasika Shekhara. This was followed by Bhava Vandana Mochana Pranamagana and opening of the asana. Then Vrindavan Bhai sang the Bandana Ki Sundara Disucha Ki Sundara Sri Parada. Vijay Bhai read the Nigam Upadesa pages 258 to 259, which mentioned about sincerity and tolerance. It says how patience and tolerance is a virtue. Never to use abuse words against anyone, no matter what. Then Subhendu Bhai read the minutes of the last Sangha Puja. Then Rajendra Bhai read Katha Sangraha, which mentioned how Thakura had asked Sri Bhai to write Thakura's biography. Then Vrindavan Bhai sang the Prathana Nirasha Nakara Aji Dayalu Thakura Hai. Then Raja Bhai read some excerpts from the morning session Sangha Sevaka. Then Anjal Ma sang the Prathana Checharana Tale Aji Mage Sarana. After that, Subrat Bhai continued to read Sangha Sevaka. Then Rajendra Bhai continued with the Kiva session. Right after that, the young aspirant session started with the Prathana Sangita Ameta Sabhiye Nana Jati Phula, sang by Aishi. Then Vedamati Ma led the discussion in the Vayu session. Aishi explained the Prathana song, which said that we are connected through the common thread of humanity. Vayu session started with the story of Thakura's life. Then Naitik, Palerma and Sonali Sama did their Bhavavinimaya Seva, followed by invitation of Madhyana Bhoga and evening puja. Then Pratyuk and Ikshitama invited Sri Sri Thakura to the Sangha Puja to be held on April 7th, 2024. After that, Sonali Sama prayed for forgiveness from Thakura, all wise, Mas and young aspirants. Then session was concluded with Vidaya Prathana, Dayamaya Sri Charane, sang by Shukrit Bhai, and the ashram was closed with Jai Guru Namakirtan and Pranam. Vishwajit Rai Bhai took the attendance of all wives and mas present for the puja. Then Madhyana Bhoga was offered to Sri Sri Thakur, followed by Prasad Sevan. Sri Sri Thakur Charana Shudha, Naitik Pallaviman Samalsala. Jai Guru. जय गुरु सद्गुरु निगमानंद देवଙ୍କ पंचसन्यासिनी शिष्य श्री श्री ठाकुर से नवगत शिष्या मानक नहीं आनंद स्नान करुले एतिक बेले गोटे प्रबल जुआर आसला जो अंटाए पानी थिला आचंबित भाव में मणिष बुड़ी जा भली पानी होगला समुद्र वक्ष अत्यंत शीत एवं दुग्ध धवल फेण राशि पूर्ण हो उठिला ता संगे संगे समुद्र निम्न देशरू एक प्रकार गंभीर गर्जन श्रुतिगोचर है मुहूर्त गोटे प्रकांड ढेउ आसी योगमाया देवी को जलमग्न करदेला अन्य माने सेतेबेलको संतरण करी कूल आड़क फेरी आसी समस्ते सेतेबेले बुझी पारिथिले जे आउ अधिक स्नान नकरी उठी जिबा मंगलजनक कारण अकस्मात केतेबेले भीतर काहाली आसी भसाई नहीं जिबाकू केते समय लागिबो श्री श्री ठाकुर भैरवी माँ ऊपर सतर्क दृष्टि रखिथिले समुद्र गुरु गर्जन से भल कर जापर जे प्रबल जुआर माड़ी आसुची सुतरां योगमाया देवी जलमग्न हेबा मात्रके श्री श्री ठाकुर पहरी पहरी आसी तांको धरी पकाइले भैरवी माँ संतरण जानी नथिबारु प्रखर ढेउरे जल रे पाद स्थिर करी नपारी गभीर समुद्र आड़क भासी जाथिले श्री श्री ठाकुर द्रुत बेगर स्रोत मुखरे अग्रसर होई तांको धरी पकाइबा मात्रे बुड़ी जाउथिबा लोकर स्वाभाविक प्रकृति अनुसार जोगमाया देवी आतंक श्री श्री ठाकुर को जोर करी जाबुड़ी धरिले ठीक एतिक बेले कूल आड़ू गोटे प्रकांड ढेउ फेरी आसिबा समय पश्चात भागरू गभीर समुद्र गोटे प्रबल जुआर माड़ी आसुथिला अग्र पश्चात उभय स्रोतरे धक्का संभाली नपारी श्री श्री ठाकुर मध्य भासी उठिले अगाध जल जोगमाया देवी को गोटे हस्त धरी अन्य हस्त साहाय्य संतरण करने संगे संगे श्री श्री ठाकुर चतुर्दिक प्रति दृष्टिपात करने को लगिले मुहूर्तक मध्य एपरी अभावनीय घटना घटीगला श्री श्री ठाकुर स्वयं असाधारण संतरण कुशली तदुपरी दैहिक बल मध्य असामान्य थिला किंतु महाशक्तिशाली समुद्र स्रोत संगरे प्रतियोगिता करी जयलाभ करने को हेले अधिक कौशल प्रयोजन ताहा सत्वे कूल अभिमुखरे प्रत्यावर्तन चेष्टा करी श्री ठाकुर जानिपारे जे समुद्र विपुल शक्ति तथा समस्त प्रकार संतरण कौशल प्रयोग करी से जेते कूल आड़ को अग्रसर हेबार प्रयास करुछांती समुद्र स्रोत तांको सेतिकी प्रबल बेगरे निम्न दिगरे गभीर समुद्र भीतर को आकर्षण करी नेउथाय तीर बुद्धि श्री श्री ठाकुर महाराज इतस्ततः चाहे देखिले जे अन्य समस्ते पहरी पहरी कूलर समीपवर्ती हेलेनी केवल शांति माँ समस्त पछरे रहिछन्ति से श्री श्री ठाकुर ठारू अनंत दूर रे द्रुत वेगर संतरण करी कूल आड़ को अग्रसर हेउथांती तांकु देखि शांति शांति बोली चित्कार करी श्री श्री ठाकुर कहले मोते धर मु अंडर करेंट रे पड़गली श्री श्री ठाकुर चित्कार रे शांति माँ चमकी पड़ी चाहबारू श्री श्री ठाकुर हाथ धरी निर्देश देले एतिक बेलू अदूर रे गोटे बड़ ढेउ मुंड टेकिलानी एने जोगमाया देवी एपरी अवस्था उपनीत हेले जद्वारे श्री श्री ठाकुर बुझी पारुछांती जे से क्रमश तांकर संख्या लोप हेबाकू बसिलानी तेणु श्री श्री ठाकुर जदि टिके छाड़ी दियंती तेबे से तृणखंड सदृश निमिषक मध्य अतल समुद्र मध्य लीन होइजिबे श्री श्री ठाकुर निज अवस्था मध्य संकटापन्न तेणु एतिक बेले साहाय्य आवश्यक वर्तमान पश्चात भागरू आसुथिबा ढेउ साहाय्य कूल आड़ को भासी जाई न पारिले तीर प्रतिहत तरंग आघात निश्चय से निस्तरंग सागर गर्भ को ठेली होइजिबे ସେତେବେଳେ ସେଠାରୁ ଫେରି ଆସିବା ଅସମ୍ଭବ ହୋଇପଡ଼ିବ। ଥରେ ମାତ୍ର ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ପ୍ରତି ଦୃଷ୍ଟିପାତ କରି କୃପାଧନ୍ୟା ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସିନୀ ଶାନ୍ତିମା ତତ୍କାଳୀନ ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ମାରାତ୍ମକତା ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ରୂପେ ହୃଦୟଙ୍ଗମ କଲେ। ସେତେବେଳେ ଶାନ୍ତିମା ମଧ୍ୟ ଗଭୀର ଜଳରେ ଥାଆନ୍ତି। ତାଙ୍କ ପାଦ ମଧ୍ୟ ଭୂମି ସ୍ପର୍ଶ କରୁନଥାଏ। ତେଣୁ ସେ ବିଦ୍ୟୁତ ବେଗରେ ଅଗ୍ରସର ହୋଇ ବକ୍ଷସ୍ପର୍ଶୀ ଜଳରେ ଦଣ୍ଡାୟମାନ ହେଲେ ଏବଂ ନିମିଷକ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ନିଜ ପରିହିତ ଗେରୁଆ ସ୍ଥାନ ଖୋଲି ଜଳରେ ଭସାଇ ଦେଇ ଉଚ୍ଚ କଣ୍ଠରେ ଡାକ ପକାଇଲେ, ଠାକୁର ଠାକୁର ଶୀଘ୍ର ଧରନ୍ତୁ, ମୁଁ ଲୁଗାଟା ଖୋଲି ଭସାଇ ଦେଲି, ଶୀଘ୍ର ଧରନ୍ତୁ। ସେତେବେଳେ ମଥା ଉପରେ ଦେଇ ଭୀଷଣ ଗର୍ଜନ କରି ଢେଉଟାଏ କୂଳ ଆଡକୁ ମାଡ଼ିଗଲା। ଢେଉ ଫେରିବାର ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଠାକୁର ଯଦି ଶାଢୀଟା ଧରି ନ ପାରନ୍ତି ତେବେ ଭୈରବୀ ମା ଓ ଠାକୁର ଉଭୟ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ବିପନ୍ନ ହୋଇପଡିବେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ସେତେବେଳକୁ ଭିତର କାହାଳି ସାମାନ୍ୟ ପରିମାଣରେ ମନ୍ଦୀଭୂତ ହୋଇଥିବା ଅନୁଭବ କରି ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର କୌଶଳରେ ଢେଉ ସାହାଯ୍ୟରେ ତୀର ଆଡକୁ କିଞ୍ଚିତ ଅଗ୍ରସର ହୋଇଥିଲେ। ତେଣୁ ସେ ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କ କଥା ସହଜରେ ବୁଝିପାରି ହାତ ବଢାଇ ଲୁଗା ଧରିବା ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରସ୍ତୁତ ହୋଇ ଡାକି କହିଲେ, ଶାନ୍ତି, ଖୁବ ଶକ୍ତ କରି ଧରିଥିବୁଟି, ହାତରୁ ଯେପରି ଖସି ନଯାଏ। ସେତେବେଳେ ତୀର ଆଡୁ ପ୍ରବଳ ଜଳସ୍ରୋତ ବହି ଆସିଥାଏ। ତାହାରି ବେଗରେ 10 ହାତ ଲମ୍ବର ଥାନଟି ଭାସି ଯାଇ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ହସ୍ତରେ ପଡିଲା। ସେତେବେଳେ ଶାନ୍ତି ମା ଡାକ ଛାଡିଲେ, ଠାକୁର, ମୁଁ ଖୁବ ଜୋରରେ ଧରିଛି, ଆପଣ ମଧ୍ୟ ଖୁବ ଶକ୍ତ କରି ଧରିଥାନ୍ତୁ। ଏତିକି କହି ସମସ୍ତ ଶକ୍ତି ପ୍ରୟୋଗ କରି ସମୁଦ୍ର ବାଲୁକାରେ ନିଜ ପାଦକୁ ଖୁବ ଜୋର କରି ଚାପି ଧରି କଠିନ ମୁଷ୍ଟିରେ ତନ୍ୱଙ୍ଗୀ ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସିନୀ ନିଜ ଶାଢୀର ଗୋଟିଏ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ମୁଷ୍ଟିବଦ୍ଧ କରି ଧରିଥାନ୍ତି। ଶାନ୍ତି, ମୁଁ ଧରିଛି, ଏତିକି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ମୁଖରୁ ବାହାରିବା ମାତ୍ରେ ଓଷ୍ଠାଧାର ଚାପି ଉଭୟ ହସ୍ତରେ ଶାଢୀକୁ ଟାଣି ନିଜ କଟି ଦେଶରେ ଥରେ ଗୁଡାଇ ଦେଇ 3 ଗଣ୍ଠି ପକାଇ ଆଉ ଘେରାଏ ପିନ୍ଧିବା ପରି ବେଢାଇ ଆଣି ଜଳତଳ ଭୂମିରେ ଉପରେ ଦୃଢ ଭାବରେ ଜାଣୁବଦ୍ଧ କରି ଲଜ୍ଜା ନିବାରଣ ନିମିତ୍ତ ଦେହରେ ନିମ୍ନାଙ୍ଗକୁ ଜଳମଗ୍ନ କରି ଦୀର୍ଘବପୁ ଶାନ୍ତି ମା ପୁଣି କହିଲେ, ଠାକୁର, ମୁଁ ଖୁବ ଜୋରେ ଟାଣୁଛି, ଆପଣ ଦେହକୁ ଭସାଇ ରଖନ୍ତୁ। ଏତିକି କହି ଦେହରେ ସମସ୍ତ ଶକ୍ତି ଖଟାଇ ଶୀଘ୍ର ଶାଢୀକୁ 2 ହାତରେ ଟାଣି ଶାନ୍ତି ମା ନିଜ ଦେହରେ ଘେରାଇବାକୁ ଲାଗିଲେ। ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଗୋଟିଏ ହସ୍ତରେ ଶାଢୀର ଗୋଟିଏ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଓ ଅପର ହସ୍ତରେ ଯୋଗମାୟା ଦେବୀଙ୍କ ଗୋଟିଏ ହସ୍ତ ବଜ୍ର ଦୃଢ ଭାବରେ ଧାରଣ କରି ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରବଳ ଆକର୍ଷଣ ସହିତ ନିଜ ସନ୍ତରଣ ଶକ୍ତିକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟରେ ବିନିଯୋଗ କଲେ। ତଥାପି ଏହି ସଙ୍କଟ ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତରେ ତାଙ୍କର ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସିନୀ ସେବିକା ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କର ପ୍ରତ୍ୟୁତ୍ପନ୍ନମତିତା, ସାହସ, ନିର୍ଭୀକତା ଓ ସୁଶୀଳତା ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଚକ୍ଷୁ ଏଡାଇ ପାରିନଥିଲା। ଏହି ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କର ସ୍ମରଣ ଥିଲା ଯେ ତାଙ୍କ ଦେହରେ ଖଣ୍ଡିଏ ଓଦା ବ୍ଲାଉଜ ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ। ଅଳ୍ପ କ୍ଷଣ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଅନ୍ତଃସ୍ରୋତ ଶକ୍ତିକୁ ଉଲ୍ଲଗ୍ନ କରି ସମୁଦ୍ର ତଳଭୂମି ତାଙ୍କ ପଦସ୍ପର୍ଶ କରିବା ଭଳି ସ୍ଥାନରେ ଆସି ଉପନୀତ ହେଲେ। ତତ୍ପରେ ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଛାଡି ଦେଇ ସମୁଦ୍ର ଭିତରେ ଦଣ୍ଡାୟମାନ ହୋଇ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ତାଙ୍କ ହସ୍ତ ଆଶ୍ରୟରେ ଭାସମାନ ଯୋଗମାୟା ଦେବୀଙ୍କୁ ଧରି ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ତୀର ଆଡକୁ ଅଗ୍ରସର ହେଲେ। ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଛାଡି ଦେବା ମାତ୍ରକେ ଜଳ ଭିତରେ ଥାଇ କ୍ଷିପ୍ର ହସ୍ତରେ ଲୁଗାଟା ପିନ୍ଧି ପକାଇ ଶାନ୍ତି ମା ଦୌଡି ଆସି କହିଲେ, ଠାକୁର, ଆଜି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଖୁବ କଷ୍ଟ ହେଲା, ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ମାଙ୍କୁ ଧରେ। ଠାକୁର, ଆଜି ଆପଣ ମାନଙ୍କର ଏପରି ଘଟିଛି ବୋଲି ଆମେ କେହି ଜାଣିନଥିଲୁ। ସେତେବେଳେ ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କ କଣ୍ଠରୁ କ୍ଷୋଭ ଓ ଅନୁଶୋଚନାର ଧାରା ଝରି ପଡୁଥିଲା। ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ସେତେବେଳେ ଘନ ଘନ ଶ୍ୱାସ ତ୍ୟାଗ କରୁଥାନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ଚକ୍ଷୁ ମୁଖ ଲାଲ ପଡିଯାଇଥାଏ। ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କ ହସ୍ତରେ ଯୋଗମାୟା ଦେବୀଙ୍କୁ ଧରାଇ ଦେବା ବେଳେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଗମ୍ଭୀର ସ୍ୱରରେ କହିଲେ, ଶାନ୍ତି, ତୁ ହିଁ ଆଜି ଆମର ପ୍ରାଣ ରକ୍ଷା କଲୁ। ତୁ ଆଜି ଏଠାରେ ନଥିଲେ କଣ ଯେ ଘଟିଥାନ୍ତା ତାହା ମୁଁ ଭାବି ପାରୁନାହିଁ। ସ୍ନିଗ୍ଧ କଣ୍ଠ ଓ ସଜଳ ନେତ୍ରରେ ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସିନୀ ଶାନ୍ତିମା ଉତ୍ତର କଲେ, ମୋର କି ଶକ୍ତି ଠାକୁର, ଯେଉଁ ସାମାନ୍ୟ ଟିକିକ ସେବା ମୋ ଦ୍ୱାରା ସମ୍ପନ୍ନ ହେଲା ତାହା ଆପଣଙ୍କ କୃପା ଶକ୍ତିରେ ହିଁ ସମ୍ଭବ ହୋଇପାରିଛି। अर्ध शरीर परिमित जल उपनीत हुई शांति माँ देह उपरे भरा दे केते स्मूथ विश्राम अवसर पाई भैरवी माँ क्रमे क्रमे प्रकृतिस्थ होई उठिले। तांको श्वास प्रश्वास स्वाभाविक गति प्रभावित हेबाकु लागिला। देहरे तापर संचार हैला। तत्पर से शांति माँ हस्त छाड़ी दे निजे स्तर भाव दंडायमान हेले। सेतेबेले मध्य तांको पश्चात देशरे प्रमोद सिंधु कल्लोल श्रुति संगीत करुथिला। सेतेबेले मध्य प्रकांड ढेउ प्रचुर जलश्वास धरी कूलरे भांगी पड़ुथिला। श्री श्री ठाकुर सावधान कराई कहिले जोगमायार हस्त छाड़ी देना चाहती। हठात जेपरी ढेउ आसुचे केतेबेले से कौन पुणी ताकू बुड़ाई देव ताहा स्थिरता नहीं। जोगमाया चाली पारिब तो पारिबी ठाकुर। जोगमायाଙ୍କର ଏହି ଉତ୍ତରରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଆଦେଶ କଲେ ତାହା ହେଲେ ଯେତେ ଶୀଘ୍ର ପାର ଶାନ୍ତିର ହସ୍ତ ଧରି କୂଳକୁ ଚାଲିଯାଅ। ଶାନ୍ତିମା ଓ ଭୈରବୀ ମାଙ୍କ ପଛରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ମଧ୍ୟ ମନ୍ଥର ଗତିରେ ସ୍ଥିରାଭିମୁଖରେ ପଦଚାଳନା କଲେ। ସେତେବେଳକୁ ଅନ୍ୟ ସମସ୍ତ ଜଳରୁ ଉଠି ଲୁଗା ପାଲଟିବାରେ ଲାଗିଥିଲେ। ସମୁଦ୍ର ଗର୍ଭରେ ଯେ ଏପରି ଗୋଟେ ଘଟଣା ଘଟିଲାଣି ସେଥିପ୍ରତି କେହି ହେଲେ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ ରଖିନଥିଲେ। ସେମାନେ ଭାବିଥିଲେ ଯେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଓ ଶାନ୍ତି ମା ତ ପକ୍କା ସନ୍ତରଣ ପଟୁ, ତେଣୁ ସେମାନେ ଭୈରବୀ ମାଙ୍କୁ ନେଇ ବେଶୀ ସମୟ ଧରି ସମୁଦ୍ର ସ୍ନାନ ଜନିତ ଆନନ୍ଦ ଉପଭୋଗ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ମହାରାଜ ଓ ଭୈରବୀ ମା ଉଭୟ ଏ କୂଳରେ ପହଞ୍ଚି ଶାନ୍ତ ଦେହ ନେଇ ବେଳାଭୂମିରେ ବସି ପଡିଲେ। ଶାନ୍ତି ମା ତାଙ୍କୁ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟତାପ ଆଢୁଆଳ କରି ଛିଡା ହେଲେ। ସେତେବେଳେ ସମୁଦ୍ର କୂଳରେ ଉକ୍ତ ଘଟଣା କିଛି ହେଲେ ଆଲୋଚିତ ହୋଇନଥିଲା। ଧର୍ମଶାଳାକୁ ଫେରି ବିଶ୍ରାମ ନେବା ପରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ ଶାନ୍ତି ମାଙ୍କ ଗୁଣ ଭୂୟସୀ ପ୍ରଶଂସା କରିଥିଲେ। ମୋ ମା ସୁରବାଳା ଦେବୀ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆସାମ ମଠରେ ଅବସ୍ଥାନ କାଳରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ନିକଟରୁ ସମୁଦ୍ର ସ୍ନାନର ଏହି କାହାଣୀ ଶ୍ରବଣ କରିଥିଲେ। ପୂର୍ବରୁ ସ୍ଥିର
মনর ঠাকুর জি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা। মনর ঠাকুর জি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা। মনর ঠাকুর জি কহিবে বলে অকুহার কিছু মোরা। কহিবে বলে অকুহার কিছু মোরা। মনর ঠাকুর জি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা। মনর ঠাকুর জি আয়ু ধন মানা জানা মাগো নাহি জীবন আয়ু ধন মানা জানা মাগো নাহি জীবন। ভিখারির দয়া নিধি চরণ ছড়ন করা। ভিখারির দয়া নিধি চরণ ছড়ন করা। মনর ঠাকুর জি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা। মনর ঠাকুর হে মন মোহনা মুগাথিবাই নয়না শুণ হে মন মোহনা মুগাথিবাই নয়না নবঘন কামাঠামা নিরেখুথিবে মাতরা নবঘন কামাঠামা নিরেখুথিবে মাতরা মনর ঠাকুরাজি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা মনর ঠাকুরাজি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা মনর ঠাকুরাজি মুখ থিব মুখ মরা কণ্ঠরে নথিব সুর মুখ থিব মুখ মরা কণ্ঠরে নথিব সুর এরাসন রটুথিবা তোমারি নাম কেবল এরাসন রটুথিবা তোমারি নাম কেবল মনর ঠাকুরাজি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা মনর ঠাকুরাজি তনু হরাই চেতনা করুথিব লিঙ্গনা তনু হরাই চেতনা করুথিব লিঙ্গনা অরূপ স্বরূপ তব প্রেমে হই জরা জরা অরূপ স্বরূপ তব প্রেমে হই জরা জরা মনর ঠাকুরাজি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা মনর ঠাকুরাজি কহিবি কহিবি বলে আকুহরহিছি মোরা কহিবি কহিবি বলে আকুহরহিছি মোরা মনর ঠাকুরাজি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা মনর ঠাকুরাজি মন কথা ঘৃণা করা মনর ঠাকুরাজি।
Jai Guru Sansarapate, the ultimate aim of householders, worshipping the Brahma. Brahma, Atma and Bhagavan, supreme, non-dual entity, self and God with form. There are some hidden signs in it. As discussed in scriptures, there are three separate things to be examined. Brahman is for the one pursuing the path of knowledge, Atma for the yogi, and Bhagavan for the devotees. Let's explain this with a simple analogy. Suppose the sun and its rays. These two are not the same. However, you cannot separate these two. The rays that have pervaded the universe have condensed into the orb of the sun. Again, the image of sun, God, can be imagined in the orb of the sun. The universe of divine feeling, Bhava Jagata, is also similar. In that place, Atma has structure. What thoughts arise in our mind when we talk about Jiva with arms and legs? However, each and every atom of the Atma is made out of bliss. From those infinite atoms of bliss, few individual atoms have created Jiva, living being, in this gross universe, which is our Atma that is living in this material world. Now imagine, how is this universe and what material is it made of? Bliss or Bhava forms this universe. In this universe, all entities, including humans, trees and creepers, animals and birds, worms and flies, are made of bliss. Everything exists. Everyone is entitled to the same bliss. However, everyone is a separate entity. Dogs exist in that universe. It has no other bhava feeling. Only dogness has blossomed 100%. Let's give an example. We have our mother in this world. When we say mother, we get an image of a woman. But alas, we don't get the feeling of our mother when we see each and every woman. When one sees a woman, they get the image based on their thoughts. However, a baby always sees a mother in any woman. A baby does not have any hesitation. A baby may go to a woman thinking that she is his mother without noticing her face or qualities. Once he sees the face, he gets this unknown feeling that she is not his mother and returns back. Other may get a feeling of lust. That may not be for one woman by another woman. Now, see, Bengali novels and English novels have described similar love of a mother and love of a wife. However, what a Bengali man feels when she is a Bengali woman is not going to be the same when he sees an English woman. A man from the countryside may think that she is a man. However, when he sees a woman of a Naga tribe, he may not think she is a human, let alone the feeling of motherhood. Hence, the image of a mother is not the same as the image of woman in the universe of Bhava, feeling. In the universe of Bhava, various external shapes and forms are harmonized into images. In that case, there is no difference between the motherly love of a Bengali or an English man. Now, if an image is formed by condensing the feeling of motherhood, Matru Bhava, or if the feelings of motherhood blossoms into an image, the result is Bhava Mayi Murti, image built of motherly feeling, or Nitya Matru Murti, eternal image of motherhood. Looking at this image will awaken the feeling of motherhood in all irrespective of being English, Odia, Bengali, Jew or Muslim. Now everyone will think of this image of motherhood as mother, no matter even if it's an image of a tigress. Everyone would get the feeling that it's their mother. Similarly, there exists a place called the universe of feelings. Everyone has an eternal image in that place. The mood of tranquility, servitude, etc., each are layers in this universe. However, devotional feelings are formless because the images in that universe are nothing similar to the images in this universe, nor any objects that are similar to any objects there. Philosophical analysis cannot grasp those images. As much analysis that philosophy can do, it will end up creating a form. Those images are not made of any simple image. Hence, the images made of feelings are formless. The power of these images are infinite. Again, the images given for meditation are meant only as a support. Generally, the mind is very fickle. So, focusing on a special image helps the mind to be subtle eventually. The gross image vanishes when the mind is stable. Mind appears to the practitioner assuming that desired divine form. Hence, all subtle images are our creation. At that time, if the mind stays focused on that image, the image will also vanish. Then the image born out of divine feelings will blossom. Hence, the images are only there for support. For that reason, support is needed for the practitioner. Worshipping the formless is not devoid of support. Then the support is only subtle. The spiritual principles are understood with the help of subtle intellect by rejecting the gross images. That is meant for people with higher eligibility. Jai Guru.
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ। ସକାଳ ସଂଘ ସେବକରେ ଚାଲିଛି ଆମର ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ ସବୁ ଆମର ଇଏ ଉପରୁ 10 ବିଧ ନିୟମ। ଏଥିରେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆଦର୍ଶ ଗୃହସ୍ଥ ଉପରେ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇଛି। ଯେହେତୁ ଠାକୁର ଆଦର୍ଶ ଗୃହସ୍ଥ ଉପରେ ଏତେ ଜୋର ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଆଦର୍ଶ ଗୃହସ୍ଥ ହେବା ପାଇଁ, ଲେଟ୍ ଅସ୍ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ ଦିସ୍ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ୍। ସୌମ୍ୟ ଭାଇ, ଆପଣ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ବି ଏଇଟାକୁ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଆସାଇନ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ, କାରଣ ଆଜି ଯୋଉଠି ରହିଲା ସେଇଠୁ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା। ଅବଶ୍ୟ ମାନେ ବନ୍ଦନା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ବନ୍ଦନା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ସେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ରିପିଟ୍ କରିଦେବା, ସେଇ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ସେଇ ବନ୍ଦନା କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ। ଆଉ ଆଜି ଯୋଉଠି ରହିଗଲା ସେଇଠୁ ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା, so that we can finish this up। କାରଣ once again ଏଇଟା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶ, ଆଦର୍ଶ ଗୃହସ୍ଥ ହୁଅ। ଆଉ ପଢିଦେବା ସବୁ। ମୂଳ କଥା ସେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲେ ଯେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନାରେ ମନୋମୁଖ, ଅର୍ଥ ବୁଝି ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରିବା, ମନୋମୁଖ ଏକ ହବ ଇତ୍ୟାଦି ଇତ୍ୟାଦି। ଠାକୁର କହିଲେ ଅର୍ଥ ବୁଝି ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରିବ, ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କଲାବେଳେ କାନ୍ଦି ଭସାଇ ଦବ। ତ ଏଇଠି ରଖିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ନିଜେ ଲିଖିଛନ୍ତି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଠାକୁର ଯଦି କାନ୍ଦି ନ ମାରୁଛି ନିଜର ବେତରେ ନିଜକୁ ପିଟ, ନିଜକୁ ପ୍ରହାର କର ବେତରେ, ଯାହାଫଳରେ ପ୍ରକୃତ କାନ୍ଦ ଆସିବ। ତାମାନେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କଲାବେଳେ ମାନେ କେତେଟା ଆନ୍ତରିକତା ଥିବା ଦରକାର, ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଯାହା ପ୍ରତି ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରାଯାଉଛି ତା ସହିତ କେମିତି ସଂଯୋଗ ରହିବା ଦରକାର, ସେଇଟା ବେଶୀ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ। ସେଇଟା ନଥିଲେ ମୁହଁରେ ପରିଗଲେ କଣ ହବ, କିଛି ହବନି, ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ଫଳ ମିଳିବ ନାହିଁ। ଏନିୱେ ତାପରେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଆଦର୍ଶ ଗୃହସ୍ଥ ଉପରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍। କହିଲେ ଯେ ଠାକୁର କହିଲେ ନିର୍ଲିପ୍ତ ଗୃହୀ ଆଉ ଲିପ୍ତ ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସୀ ସମସ୍ଥାନୀୟ। ସେଟା ବୋଧେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ମଧ୍ୟ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରୁଥିଲି ବୋଧେ ଆମର ଗଲା ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟାରେ। ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଯେଉଁ ଗୃହସ୍ଥ ବିଷୟ ଭୋଗରେ ନିର୍ଲିପ୍ତ କିନ୍ତୁ ଭଗବାନ ଶ୍ରୀ ଗୁରୁ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ସେବାରେ ଲିପ୍ତ, ସେ ହେଲା ଆଦର୍ଶ ଗୃହସ୍ଥ। ମାନେ ବିଷୟକୁ ଛାଡିକି ମାନେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଧରିବା, ଗୁରୁଙ୍କୁ ଧରିବା, ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଧରିବା, ସେଇଟା ହଉଛି ଆଦର୍ଶ ଗୃହସ୍ଥର ଲକ୍ଷଣ। ଏଇଠି ରଖୁଛି, କାରଣ ବେଶୀ ଆଜି ପଢା ହେଇନି। ଯଦି କାହାର କିଛି ଆଉ 3 ମିନିଟ୍ ଅଛି, କିଛି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଅଛି ପଚାରନ୍ତୁ। ନାହିଁ ତାହେଲେ କଣ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିବା? ନହେଲେ ଆଜି ଆମର ସଂସ୍ଥା ପକ୍ଷରେ ଯାହା ପଢା ହେଲା ସେଇଠୁ ଟିକେ କହିଦଉଛି। 2 ମିନିଟ୍ ସମୟ ଅଛି। ସେ ମୂଳ କଥା ନିତ୍ୟ ଲୋକର ଆଭାସ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରି ପଢିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି। ଠାକୁର କହିଲେ ଯେ ଏଠି ସିନା ଆମେ ନାମ ରୂପ ଧରିକି ପଢି ରହିଛୁ, ନିତ୍ୟ ଲୋକରେ ସବୁ ଚିନ୍ମୟ ଦେହ, ସେ କଥା ମାନେ ଭାବ ଦେହ, ଭାବ ଲୋକ, ଚିନ୍ମୟ ଦେହ ବା ନିତ୍ୟ ଲୋକଟା ସେ ଚିନ୍ମୟ ଦେହ, ସେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଦେହରେ ଚିନ୍ମୟ ଚିତ୍ମୟ। ଚିତ୍ ଅର୍ଥ କଣ ନା ଜ୍ଞାନ। ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଦେହଟା ସେଇ ଚିତ୍ ସତ୍ତାରେ ହିଁ ଗଠିତ। ଆମର 3ଟା ଜିନିଷ ସବୁଆଡେ ରହିଛି, ସତ୍ ଚିତ୍ ଆନନ୍ଦ। ସତ୍ର କମ ବେଶୀ ନାହିଁ, ସତ୍ଟା ସବୁବେଳେ ସମାନ। ତା ଅର୍ଥ ଇଟ୍ସ 1 or 0। ଆମେ କହିପାରିନି ମାନେ ସତ୍ର କମ ଅଛି ବେଶୀ ଅଛି ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ କମ ବେଶୀ କାହାର ରହେ? ଚିତ୍ର କମ ବେଶୀ ରହେ, ଆନନ୍ଦର କମ ବେଶୀ ରହେ। କିଏ ଅଳ୍ପ ଆନନ୍ଦ ଲାଭ କରୁଛି, କିଏ ବେଶୀ ଆନନ୍ଦ ଲାଭ କରୁଛି, କାହାର ଅଳ୍ପ ଜ୍ଞାନ, କାହାର ବେଶୀ ଜ୍ଞାନ। କିନ୍ତୁ ସତ୍ ଆସୁଛି, ସତ୍ଟା ସବୁବେଳେ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ମାତ୍ରା ରହୁଛି। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଠାକୁର କହିଲେ, ଅନ୍ୟ ଜାଗାରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରାଯାଇଛି ଯେ ମା ମାନଙ୍କର ଜ୍ଞାନ କମ, ଆନନ୍ଦ ଅଧିକ। ଭାଇମାନେ ସାଧାରଣତଃ ଭାଇମାନଙ୍କର ଆନନ୍ଦ କମ, ଜ୍ଞାନ ଅଧିକ। ତେଣୁ ତା ତ ମୁଁ କହିବା କଥା ଯେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଆନନ୍ଦର କମ ବେଶୀ ରହିପାରେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସତର କୌଣସି ଜାଗାରେ କମ ବେଶୀ ନାହିଁ। ଆଉ ସତ ଚିତ ଆନନ୍ଦ ଚିନ୍ତା ଜିନିଷ ଗଲା, ତାକୁ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେଲା ପରେ ଏ ଜଗତକୁ ଆସିଗଲା ମାନେ ଆଉ ଦିଟା ଜିନିଷ ତା ଦେହରେ ଆଡ ହଉଛି। ସଚିଦାନନ୍ଦ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଆଉ ଦିଟା ଜିନିଷ ଆଡ ହଉଛି, ସେ ହଉଛି ନାମ ଆଉ ରୂପ। ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଜିନିଷରେ ଗୋଟେ ରୂପ ରହିଛି, ତାପରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ନାଁ ଦେଇ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି। ଏଇଟା ହେଲା ଗଛ, ଏଇଟା ଲତା, ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଫୁଲ, ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଫଳ, ଏଇଟା ଅମୁକ ଫୁଲ, ଏଇଟା ଅମୁକ ଫଳ। କିନ୍ତୁ ନିତ୍ୟ ଲୋକରେ ସବୁ ଚିତ୍ମୟ, ସବୁ ଜ୍ଞାନର ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଘନ ବିଗ୍ରହ। ତାହେଲେ ତା ଡିଫରେନ୍ସଟା କ'ଣ ରହୁଛି? ଏଠି ଯେମିତି ରୂପର ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ରହୁଛି, ସେଠି ରୂପର ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ନାହିଁ, ସେଠି ହଉଛି ଭାବର ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ। ସେ ଭାବ ନେଇକି ସେଠି ସବୁ କାମ ଚାଲିଛି। ମାତୃଭାବ କଥା ଡିସ୍କସନ କରାହଉଥିଲା ଯେ ଏଠି ଜଣେ ମାଆକୁ ଦେଖିଲେ କେବଳ ତା ପିଲାର ତା ପ୍ରତି ମାତୃଭାବ ହବ, ଅନ୍ୟର ସେ ମାତୃଭାବ ହବ ନାହିଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ ସେଠି ସେ ମାତୃ ଘନଭୀତ ରହିଛି, ଠିକ ସତ୍ତା ରହିଛି, ତାକୁ ଦେଖିଲେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ମନରେ ମାତୃଭାବ ଉଦୟ ହବ। ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ସେ ମାତୃ ସତ୍ତା, ମାତୃଭାବ ସେଇଠି ରହିଛି, ଭାବଟା ଘନୀଭୂତ ହୋଇଛି। ଏନିୱେ ସମୟ ହେଇଗଲା, ରଖିବା। ଅଦିତି ମା, whenever you are ready, you can start the prayer. Joy Guru.
जय गुरु। काहे की छोड़ा कहा पिया बारा, पूजित पारे न मन मोरा। काहे की छोड़ा कहा पिया बारा, पूजित पारे न मन मोरा। अंतर माझिरे खेळालु चकाळे, अंतर माझिरे खेळालु चकाळे। काही की सती छळ करा, काही की छळ कहा पिया बारा, पूजित पारे न मन मोरा। मन घरे फुटी तुम छाई, आखिरे भेट नाही। बारूची नीती मन मंदिरे मो, बारूची नीती मन मंदिरे मो। निसी दिन बसी खेळा करा, काही की छळ कहा प्रिया पारा, पूजित पारे न मन मोरा। माते तुम्ही सुख पाबोली, अनुभव करे नीती खाली। आशीष तुमारा छला पथी मोरा, आशीष तुमारा छला पथी मोरा। बारी मो बारुछि अनिबारा, काही की छळ कहा पिया बारा, पूजित पारे न मन मोरा। छळ न काही की कराऊ, दिया परी छाय खिदा जाऊ। किए तुम्हें मोरा जानानी पियारा, किए तुम्हें मोरा जानानी पियारा। की बोली डाकी काही की छाड़ा कहा प्रिया बारा बुझित पारेन मन मोरा जहाँ इच्छा तुम्हें हुआ तहाँ सुखारे तू खारी क्षीरा सहा जहाँ पाछे हुआ संबंध रे मोरा जहाँ पाछे हुआ संबंध रे मोरा तुम्हें का मोरा मुतु मोरा काही की छाड़ा कहा प्रिया पारा पूजित पारेन मन मोरा अंतरमा चिरे खेळनु चकारी अंतरमा चिरे खेळनु चकारी काही की सते छाड़ा करा काही की छाड़ा कहा प्रिया बारा पूजित पारेन मन मोरा काही की छाड़ा कहा प्रिया बारा पूजित पारेन मन मोरा. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, young aspirants. This is Shreya and I will be conducting our YA session today. I hope everyone is doing well and looking forward to it. I will start first by taking attendance and then Aditi will share the meaning of the song she just sang. While we do that, please go ahead and have today's reading material ready in front of you and I will ask one of you to read the passage for us today. So with that, let's start our attendance. Aditi?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Adhyasa? Agya Ma. Jai Guru. Aishi? Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Anhik?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Ansh? Anshu? Arnav?
Jai Guru. Arnav's coming. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Okay. Aryan?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Ashrita? Jemu? Timmy? Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Jagrat?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Naitik?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Pratyusha? Pratyush?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Sanvi?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Saraswat?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Sarthak? Bobby? Jyoti? Shreyasi?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Jimmy?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Simran?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Shrija?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Suhani?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Yukta?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Is there anyone I missed?
Jai Guru, this is Ansh.
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru Ansh.
Jai Guru Ma. My
Jai
name is
Guru Ma.
Ashrita.
Jai Guru Ashrita.
Good to have you. Okay. In that case, Aditi, please go ahead and share the meaning of the song you sang.
Jaguru, the meaning of this song is that even though we can forget about Tabguru because of distractions in our life, he is always there with us. No matter which path we take or whatever happens in our life, Tabguru's blessing is always there. Although we cannot fully understand who Tabguru is or our relation with him, he is the one we can completely depend on. Tabguru belongs to every one of us and guides us. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, thank you, Aditi, for sharing. I really liked how you described how, Tabguru's blessing is always there. He's always there for us. We can always depend on him, but sometimes we still forget that he's always there for us. And so that's definitely something that we should really try and remember, not only in our times of struggle, but also when we have good things that come our way, so that we can always remember that those are his blessings to us. So we're truly never walking on this path alone. Thank you, Aditi. So for today's session, we will finally wrap up our discussion of the book, The Four Agreements. We have learned quite a lot in the past few sessions, and so I'm really proud of each of you for helping us gain so many insights. We've learned about the agreements we should uphold with ourselves in order to live a blissful life, and so far we've learned that we should be impeccable with our words, not take anything personally, and not to make any assumptions. So to help us recall really quickly before we read the last one, let's remind ourselves what we've learned so far. We started first with being impeccable with our words, and that essentially is us using our words to create and repair as opposed to destroying and spreading negativity. So, Naitik, can you remind us what are some ways we can use our words to spread hope and positivity?
Jai Guru, some ways we can use your words to spread like hope, like positivity, just by like encouraging others. Always having self-confidence, like having the ability to like know when you did something right, and that to like compliment others when they do something right. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, yes, absolutely. And I really, really like what you said, because it's not just about encouraging others, it's also self-confidence. You know, sometimes you have to be your cheerleader too, and so when you know you did something right, like that's also a good way to reinforce that positive action so that you can continue to do those things. Exactly. Really awesome. And on the other hand, what are some ways we use words to destroy? Shrija, what are some ways we use words to destroy or spread ill intention?
Trauma, some ways that to spread not good vibes are when someone's bullying someone and they're not being nice and they're making someone lose hope, if they're really hoping to do something, and then someone just destroys what they were actually thinking to have, and it just makes them sad and hurtful. Jacob?
Jai Guru, yes, absolutely. I think in you describing that, it just goes to show how powerful each and every single word we utter is. You never know what we might be saying could actually be, crushing someone's spirits or destroying them in a way that we don't realize, but we should be really, really mindful of. So exactly like you said, gossiping, spreading rumors, spreading judgment, fixating on flaws, and that's towards other people and even to ourselves too. If we have our negative self-talk, that's always, hurting us. That's us destroying our own confidence, hope, any of that. So basically, being impeccable with our words means we should use them for good, not for bad. So after we learned that first agreement, we then learned not taking anything personally. And we learned that it's unhealthy to think everything is about us. So when people around us act in a certain way, we shouldn't, if they do something that we didn't like or didn't expect, we shouldn't take it personally. So how do we make sure we don't take anything personally? Aishi, how do we make sure we don't take anything personally?
Jaigu, we can make sure to understand what they're saying, and if we have questions, then we can ask them instead of just guessing about what they're saying and then taking it in a different way than they were trying to put it out. Jaigu?
Jaigu, yeah, absolutely. You said questions, asking questions, and I think that's 100% right. Yeah, try not to think about ourselves so much and instead think of things objectively. And if you don't understand why someone did something, you can always ask, exactly. Don't think that you are being singled out or intentionally disrespected every time things don't go your way. It's easier said than done, but certainly something that can be really, really freeing, for sure. And that really connects to the third agreement that we also read in the last session I had with you all, which was not making assumptions. And can you remind us, what is an assumption? What does it mean to make an assumption?
To make an assumption is to basically make like some kind of claim, like thought based on like evidence or things you already know. And something else is that I feel like humans have a tendency to like want to know more information, which is like why we make assumptions.
Jaigu. Yeah, I love how you said that. So yeah, we're basically taking something to be true or certain without any proof. There's no evidence. So there's really no reason why we should be thinking that way in the first place. And you're exactly right. We have a tendency to want to know as much as possible, and so we make assumptions to basically cover those gaps that we don't have information for. And why can this hurt us? This can hurt us because we're essentially believing something to be true that isn't, and when we do that, sometimes those thoughts become a part of our gossip, which just creates our own pain and suffering. We might even spread those assumptions as false information, and that just makes things really messy, introduces confusion, and eventually it just comes back to us in the form of disagreement and more negative gossip, exactly. So now let's round this out with the last agreement, which is always do your best. Anhik, if you have the reading, would you mind reading for us today?
Jaigu, yes.
Whenever you're ready.
Agreement 4 was your best. If you try too hard to do more than your best, you will spend more energy than is needed, and in the end, your best will not be enough. Your best always changes from one moment to the next. If you always do your best, though, there is no way that you can feasibly judge yourself negatively or penalize yourself for not doing enough. If you do less than your best, though, you will subject yourself to guilt and growing self-judgment. Action is about living fully. By inaction, we deny ourselves the chance to live life. Inaction is sitting in front of the television every day because you are afraid to be alive and take the risk of expressing who you are and what you want. Expressing what you are is taking action. Take joy in the things that you do without any expectation of any kind of reward. When you can do this, that is when you are truly doing your best. Not enjoying what is happening right now is living in the past and being only half alive. This leads to self-pity, suffering, and tears. Doing your best also means taking action in the present and not letting the mistakes of the past weigh you down. If you break an agreement, begin again tomorrow and again the next day. It will be difficult at first, but each day will become easier and easier.
Thank you, Anhik, for reading. That was a lot, so let's discuss what we read. In the first sentence, it says, If you try too hard to do more than your best, you will spend more energy than is needed, and in the end, your best will not be enough. I'm curious, Shreyasi, what do you think that first sentence means? How is it possible that if you spend more energy than is needed, that somehow even that's not enough?
So if your goal is always trying to do more than you know that you can, it's good to step outside of your comfort zone, but not good to set unrealistic expectations for yourself to the point where you're constantly disappointing yourself and disappointing others. You need to set realistic expectations as to what you know will be a challenge for you, but won't be impossible. Thank you.
Yeah, you said that so well. That's exactly right. So basically, if you are continuing to push yourself beyond your limits, and in like an unhealthy way, I mean, we should always have goals that push ourselves to improve, but there's a difference between like wanting to improve versus I know that I could have done, I know that I did my best, but I'm going to do even more than that, which is a different level of strain on yourself. So that overextension, like that, when you overextend yourself and put so much effort into something that it becomes unnatural or unauthentic to you, that's when you risk doing something that wasn't required or you wouldn't have done in the first place. So although first sentence seems a little bit like it's contradicting itself, basically you should give 100% of what you can, but make sure that that's authentic to you. Anything beyond that will not guarantee the kind of success or achievement or whatever it is that you're going for. It won't give you that if you keep doing things that don't feel natural to you. That's exactly right. So then the reading says, your best changes from one moment to the next. Can Arnav, if you're here now, what does that mean? What does it mean that your best changes from one moment to the next? Or how about Pratyush? Can you help us understand that second sentence that says your best always changes from one moment to the other?
Jagger, what it means is that you're always growing and getting better at doing things. So whenever you try your hardest and try to do your best, it's always growing or changing, as it says, Jagger.
Yeah, exactly. I like your perspective on it, which is before, if you could do something and you did your best, and now that thing that you can do now is like that's your baseline, then going forward, that's not your 100% anymore. So it's just like, for instance, when you're riding a bike. If before you could do it really well with training wheels, now you've mastered that. Now your 100% is no longer riding with the training wheels. Now your 100% should be aiming for like riding without training wheels. So, Pratyush, thank you for that, for explaining it like that. The other perspective to that too is sometimes you have less energy than you usually do, or you have less to work with, or you have more obstacles or constraints than you usually do. So when that's the case, you won't be able to give your 100% towards something. For instance, let's say you're sick one day and there are so many things you have to get done, but your body needs rest. So your 100% or the amount of things you could have accomplished when you were healthy is no longer within reach. And so instead, maybe you can only give 40%, for example. And if that's the case, then as long as you give your full 40%, that means that you can rest assured that you did your best. So hopefully that makes sense, but it goes both ways. When you improve, your best is growing. So now what was enough before is not going to be enough going forward, but sometimes it's the other way around too. You physically can't give your 100%. And in that case, that's okay too, as long as you do your best. Okay, so how then do we know that we've done our best on something? Aryan, how do we know that we've done our best?
Jagger, if we've given our honest effort, if we've done everything in our capability fairly and without cheating or doing anything like that, and then we can say that we're fulfilled with the job that we've done, then we can say we've done our best. Do you agree?
I do. Yeah, exactly. It's really like, when you're content with your effort and you're pleased with the amount of thought or preparation or intention you put towards something, when you look back, you have no regret for anything that you could have done that you didn't. Exactly like you said. And how do you feel when you give your best towards something? Simran, how do you feel when you gave your best?
With your mom, I usually feel good. And unlike when I don't give my best, I usually feel guilty.
Yeah, exactly. You knew exactly what I was going to ask, even before I asked it. So, yeah, when we do our best, we feel proud, we feel content, we're satisfied, we're at ease, we're at peace even. And then the other way around, when we don't give that, we feel guilty. There might be self-judgment that starts to creep in. You might feel a sense of longing for a second chance, even because you think that you could have done more, and so you want that shot to do more. And it feels like a void that you can't really address. So it's a really hard feeling to overcome. So with that, we also read about action and inaction. So action is about living fully. It's about being brave enough to take the risk of expressing who we are and what we want. Yukta, if action is about taking that chance, what is the opposite of this, do you think?
Jagru, if action is living fully, inaction would be us limiting ourselves from performing what we are fully capable of doing, Jagru.
Yes, exactly. And Yukta, what does inaction look like?
Jagru, inaction can take many forms, but one of the examples they list in the text is sitting in front of the television, wanting to take action, but you're too afraid to take action. Jagru.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Yukta. So the opposite of action, which is living fully, is inaction, in which you never express who you are and what you want. You essentially fail to live the life that you're meant to, which means you lose out on all the joys that you're meant to have. And exactly like Yukta said, this can take many forms. It can be like sitting idly doing nothing. It can look like fear. Maybe it's resistance towards being your authentic self or not experiencing different experiences. It might be, you being afraid to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. It could also look like worrying about everything and not taking chances and never growing or evolving as a person. Basically, this like laziness is that inaction, and it really hurts us to be like that. It hurts us to not want ourselves to grow and experience more, because we'll never know what our souls really crave, or what brings them true happiness and fulfillment. So that was a lot, and that combined with the other agreements we learned a ton. So I'm curious to hear from a few of you. At the end of the reading material, there's a list of the 4 agreements, just to remind you all what we learned. And so I'm curious, I'll start with Ansh. Which of the 4 agreements are you most compelled to try and follow? And of course, there's no right answer, but would love to learn from a number of us.
Jaguru, I feel like the agreement that resonates with me the most would be the first agreement, because I feel like for the second, third, and fourth, you kind of can hear that a lot from a lot of different people. But for the first one, like the reasons behind it, it's something that I feel like a lot of us can work on, and it's something that is less well known, but that is also really important to work on. Jaguru.
Jaguru, yes, Ansh. And for everyone, can you let them know which one the first one is?
Jaguru, it's being impeccable with your words.
Lovely. Thank you, Lunch. Yeah, I really like how you said that. Sometimes we take for granted the importance of being impeccable with our words, but it's something that we use every day and something that you can immediately think about and wonder if you are doing your best to make sure that you're not committing any sins with your words. Absolutely. I really like that. How about Saraswat? Which of the 4 agreements are you most compelled to try?
Sure. Maybe don't make assumptions because I think assumptions are how things go wrong most of the time. At least in relationships with people. Sure.
Yes, you're so right. I make assumptions all the time, and that is such an easy way to be your own enemy because you're assuming something that you didn't even wait and see if that's true or not, and then that makes your head spin so many different scenarios. So exactly, that's a really, it's a tough one, but then one, again, that if we can master, it can give our minds a lot of peace. Thank you for sharing. Aditi, how about you? Which of the 4 agreements are you wanting to try?
Jagru, I'm wanting to try not making assumptions because I make assumptions a lot and that just leads to a lot of disappointment and just feeling like you're not good enough. Jagru?
Jagru, yeah. If we can save ourselves from that disappointment, that'll be really, really helpful. I totally get that. How about Jimmy? Any of the agreements that resonate with you?
Jagru, the first one because actually never mind. The third one, agreement 3, because I always sometimes make assumptions in my mind, but then I realize it's not good to make assumptions, so then I just tell my mind not to. Jagru.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of us really that making assumptions might be something we want to work on, but we're all in the same boat. So yeah, it's a habit, and we can work together to break it. I like that. Thank you for sharing, Jimmy. Suhani, how about you? What are your thoughts? Which one stands out to you?
I would say agreement 3 to not make assumptions and just jumping to conclusions without having enough information. That could really hurt you and put your self-esteem down. So you wouldn't have a
Jagru. Yeah. Again, it's one of those that exactly like you said, we get hasty, we don't wait for evidence. And sometimes maybe the key to not making assumptions is to just be patient. So I like that you helped us uncover that too. We'll hear from maybe 1 or 2 more people. How about Shrija? Which one of the 4 do you, and for you, I'll say maybe pick one that's not agreement 3.
Jacob, one of the 4 agreements I would want to try is always do my best because sometimes if I'm not paying much attention, I might do a silly mistake. So I want to try to focus more so I can actually give my best of what I know. Jacob.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Shrija. Absolutely, always do your best. That's one that I really like too because sometimes I can think back and that's a really easy question for me to answer yes or no. Did I do my best or did I not? Was there more that I could have done? And I like that you mentioned focus because sometimes when we're not really focusing or doing one thing at a time, it's really easy for us to not give our best. And then, then we miss out on potentially the good results we could have gotten. So I really like how you described that. One more. How about Shreyasi? Round us out. Which one speaks the most to you?
Sure do. Recently, I've been working on, I think I've gotten better at agreement 2 with not taking things personally. I'm a little bit of an emotional person, so when someone says something that can be seen as either criticism or rude, I used to tend to take it very personally, and I'd be like, oh, they're attacking me as a person. But now I'm working more on trying to take it as criticism and trying to take it to better myself, which I think also ties into Agreement 3 with not making assumptions. And I think by not taking things personally, it's helped me see the good in people and also use what they say to better myself and see the corrections and criticism that they're trying to give me to help me improve rather than taking it as a blow to my confidence in who I am. Jagger.
Thank you, Shreyanthi. I really, really love that, and I can relate to it a lot too. With someone who cares a lot or is really in tune with their emotions or maybe even empathetic, it's really easy to take what someone says about you and take it really personally. And even if, maybe they didn't intend for that comment to be taken that way at all. So I love that you are trying to be more objective about it and distance yourself from the comment itself and see what is it, can I take something away from this that's helpful to me? And if not, then I just let it go, I really, really like that. And I think that's something that can really help us every day when we're interacting with different people or even, the kind of positive or negative self-talk we give ourselves, making sure that we take things as objective as possible so that we're not inadvertently taking someone else's poison or ill sentiment in a way that might hurt us. And as we know, words are really, really powerful. So every single word can have such a magnitude of impact that we don't realize. Thank you all for sharing. With that, we are out of time. So this concludes our discussion of the 4 agreements. One last thing I wanted to share really quickly is that last sentence that says, if you break an agreement, begin again tomorrow and again the next day. It will be difficult at first, but each day will become easier and easier. I wanted to reiterate that because I really loved how so many of you shared which ones really spoke to you and which ones you're wanting to try, and just know that it won't be easy, but just like we all learned to walk when we were little or to ride a bike or anything that we know how to do now, it didn't happen easily. It didn't happen on the first day. We had to fall down and get up and do it again and again. And so Thakura has even mentioned many times in his teachings that perseverance and determination are really, really key. And I think each of us has that. So as long as we can, come back to these 4 things and really practice them and ground ourselves in what it means to live a blissful life, I think we can do it. So thank you to each of you for spending your time in our discussions. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to learn from you all. I beg for forgiveness for any mistakes I might have made. Today, Pratyush has Pari and Papa Vinimaya Seva. Pratyush, please go ahead when you're ready. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. I'm thankful for the opportunity to do Seva today and share my thoughts and experiences. In the last 2 years, I've seen a big growth in myself, specifically in my writing. I entered into a writing competition 2 times, and I got first place and then the top 4 another time. I felt like I didn't write an amazing story, but after reading over them again, I felt like I had outdone my expectations. Additionally, I looked back at all my previous Baba Nimayas and saw that every time I said that I had some problems, whether it be in my daily life or my connection with Thakura. Now I've come to a point where I realize that Thakura is always with me through every step. Even so, I should not expect him to solve everything for me. Thakura is here to guide me on my path to becoming a better human being. He's not with me so that he can do everything for me. I need to trust that I am following my path and doing my duties to learn and focus. For example, praying to Thakura to help me get good grades or some matters. All those things are what I'm supposed to solve myself. If I cannot do these things with my own power, who am I to follow Thakura's path? How can I let Thakura guide me if I can't do anything myself? I have set myself to not depend on Thakura and work by myself, but I will depend on Thakura when it comes to having a flourishing life. With this mindset, I will continue on, but something that is bothering me is that I'm not attending evening pujas. A lot of the time, I'm held back by my classes. But what is concerning is that when I get time to join puja, I won't willingly go unless my parents tell me to come. But the thing is that I'm confused. Whenever my dad goes to puja every morning and evening, I have no problem. But when my dad went to India for a month, though, I felt like I had the responsibility to join the puja and do it with my mom. It even felt much better when I was serving bhoga to Thakur myself. I hope that the time comes when I will try and join puja when I have nothing interrupting it. It may take some effort, but I will try and be more connected with Thakur.
ମିଳିଛି ଆଉ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଜଣାଉଛି। ବର୍ଷକୁ ଥରେ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରିବାକୁ ପଡୁଛି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପାଳି କେବେ ମିଳିବ, ସଂଘରେ କେବେ ପାଳି ମିଳିବ ସେଦିନକୁ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରିଥାଉ। ଆସିଲେ ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ଲାଗେ ଆଉ ଡର ବି ଟିକେ ଲାଗେ ଯେ ଭାବ ବିନିମୟଟା ଠାକୁର କାହିଁକି କହିଛନ୍ତି କରିବା ପାଇଁ, କଣ କହିବି ଜାଣିପାରେନି କିଛି। ଶୁଣିବାକୁ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ଭାଇ ମା ମାନଙ୍କ ଭାବ ବିନିମୟ, କିନ୍ତୁ କହିବାକୁ ତ ସବୁବେଳେ ଡର ଲାଗେ। ଠାକୁର ସେବା ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଆଉ ଥରେ। ଆଜି ସଂଘ ସେବକରେ ଏତେ ବଢିଆ ଡିସ୍କସନ ସବୁ ହଉଥିଲା। ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଗୁରୁବାଣୀ ଏବଂ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରିବା କଥା। ଆଉ ମାନେ ଠାକୁର କହିଛନ୍ତି ବହିରେ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ଯେ ଯାହା ହରି କରି ନ ପାରିବେ ତାହା ଗୁରୁ କରିପାରିବେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେଇ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ମନରେ ଆସୁଛି, ପୁଣି ମୋର ତ ପଳଉଛି। ଯଦି ମୋ ହିସାବରେ କିଛି ହଉଛି ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ହଁ ଠାକୁର ତାହେଲେ ହଉଛି ଭଲ କଲେ, ଯଦି କିଛି ହଉନି ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଠାକୁର କାହିଁକି ଏମିତି କଲ ବୋଲି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ମାନେ ଅଭିମାନ ଆସୁଛି, ଠାକୁର କାହିଁକି ଏମିତି କଲ, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆସିବା କଥା ନୁହେଁ ଜାଣିଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ମାନେ ଆସି ଯାଉଛି। ଆଉ ଆଜି କେତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର କଥା ଟିକେ କହିଲେ ଯେ କଳସୀ ବିଷୟରେ ଆଜି ପଢା ହଉଥିଲା ସଂଘ ସେବକରେ, ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଗୁଣ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବା କଥା, କିନ୍ତୁ କାହାର ଦୁର୍ଗୁଣ ଦର୍ଶନ ନ କରି ଗୁଣ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବା କଥା। କିନ୍ତୁ ସେଇଟା ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ରିଅଲ ଲାଇଫରେ ହେଇପାରୁନି। ଯଦି କିଏ ପାଟି କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି କିଏ କିଛି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଖାଲିରେ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଆସୁଛି କାହିଁକି କହିଲେ, ମୁଁ କିଛି ଦୋଷ କରିନି କାହିଁକି କହୁଛନ୍ତି, ଆଉ କହିବାକୁ ମାନେ ରାଗ ଆସୁଛି ମନରେ। ସେତେବେଳେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଉଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସନ୍ତାନ, ଯାହା ହଉଛି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଇଚ୍ଛାରେ ଠିକ ଅଛି, ମାନେ ଇଗ୍ନୋର କରି ହଉନି, ରାଗ ଆସି ଯାଉଛି, ଯୋଉଟା ଆସିବା କଥା ନୁହେଁ। ଚେଷ୍ଟା ଠାକୁର ଦୟା କର ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ କେମିତି ଦୂର ହେଇଯାଉ। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅନୁଭୂତି କହିବି, ଆମର ଦିନେ ଫ୍ଲୋରିଡାରେ ଏଇଠି ଟର୍ନାଡୋ ୱାର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ କିଛି ନଥିଲା, ୱାର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ତ ନଥିଲା ଆମର। ଦିନେ ସାଟରଡେ ନହେଲେ ସାଟରଡେ କି ସଣ୍ଡେ ହେଇଥାଏ, ଆମକୁ କସ୍କୋ ଯିବାର ଥିଲା। ସେମିତି କିଛି ଅର୍ଜେଣ୍ଟ ନଥିଲା, ଗଲେ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା, ନ ହେଇଥିଲେ ନ ଗଲେ ବି କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନଥିଲା। ବର୍ଷା ହଉଥିଲା, ମୁଁ ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ କହିଲି ଆଉ ବର୍ଷା ହଉଛି ଆଜି ଆଉ କସ୍କୋ ଯିବାନି। ଭାଇ କହିଲେ ହଉ ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଦରକାର ତ ନାହିଁ, ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଆଉ ଯିବା କାଲି ପରଦିନ ଯିବା। ମୁଁ କହିଲି ହଁ ଠିକ ଅଛି ବୋଲି। ତାପରେ ବସିଛୁ, ପୁଣି ଭାଇ ହଠାତ୍ କହିଲେ ତମେ ମା ପୁଅ ଯାଅନି, ମୁଁ ଯାଉଛି। ମୁଁ କହିଲି କାହିଁକି, କିଛି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, କଣ ପାଇଁ ଯିବ ବୋଲି। ଭାଇ କହିଲେ ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଯାଉଛି। ମୁଁ ଆଉ କିଛି ମନା କଲି, ଛାଡ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ତ, ବର୍ଷା ଟିକେ କମିଥିଲା। ଭାଇ ଗଲେ, ଭାଇ ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟ 2 ମିନିଟ୍ସ ଭାଇ ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି, ଗାଡି ନେଇକି ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି। ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି ବାଲକୋନିରେ ସବୁ ମାନେ ଏତେ ଜୋରସେ ପବନ ହଉଛି, ଗଛ ପୁରା ଏତେ ଜୋରସେ ସବୁ ହଲୁଛି। ଆମ ଗଛ ମୋର ଯେତିକି ବାଲକୋନି ପଟ ସବୁ ଥିଲା ସବୁ ଉଠିକି ବୁଲୁଛନ୍ତି। ମୁଁ ଟର୍ନାଡୋ ଭିଡିଓରେ ଦେଖିଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ରିଏଲି ଏତେ ଜୋରସେ ହବା କେବେ ଦେଖିନି। ମୁଁ କିଛି ବୁଝିପାରିଲିନି ହଠାତ୍ ଏସବୁ କଣ ହଉଛି, ବାଲକୋନି ଖୋଲିବାକୁ ସାହସ ବି ହଉନି, ଏତେ ଜୋରସେ ମାନେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ହଉଛି। ସେଠୁ ମୁଁ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ଫୋନ କଲି, ତମେ କୋଉଠି ଅଛ? କହିଲେ ମୁଁ ଆମ ଘରଠୁ 5 ମିନିଟ୍ସ ଲାଗେ। ଭାଇ କହିଲେ ମୁଁ ରାସ୍ତାରେ ଅଛି। ମୁଁ କହିଲି ଏତେ ଜୋରସେ? ଭାଇ କହିଲେ ନା ଏଇଠି ତ କିଛି ଜଣା ପଡୁନି, କିଛି ହଉନି। ତାପରେ ମୁଁ କହିଲି ହଉ ଠିକ ଅଛି। କିଛି ସମୟ ପରେ ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯାଇକି ଡୋର ଖୋଲିକି ଦେଖିଲି, ଯୋଉଠି ଆମର ପାର୍କିଂ ସ୍ପେସ୍ ଅଛି ସେଇଠି ଗୋଟେ ମୋଟା ଗଛ, ବହୁତ ବଡ ଗଛଟେ। ଆଉ ସେ ଗଛର ଯେତିକି ଡାଳ, ମାନେ ସବୁ ମୋଟା ମୋଟା ଡାଳ, ବହୁତ ପୁରୁଣା ଗଛ, ବହୁତ ବଡ ଗଛ, ସବୁ ଭାଙ୍ଗିକି ପଡିଛି। ମୁଁ କେବେ ଦେଖିନି ଏତେ, ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ହରିକେନ ହୁଏ କିନ୍ତୁ ଏତେ ବଡ ଗଛ ଭାଙ୍ଗିବାର ମୁଁ କେବେ ଦେଖିନଥିଲି। ଗଛ ଭାଙ୍ଗିକି ପଡିଛି, ମାନେ ଯଦି ଗାଡିଟା ସେଇଠି ଥାଆନ୍ତା, ଗାଡିଟା 100% ପୁରା ଭାଙ୍ଗି ଯାଇଥାନ୍ତା, ଏତେ ବଡ ଗଛ ଥିଲା। ସେଇଠୁ ମୁଁ ଚିନ୍ତା କଲି, ମାନେ କହିବାର କଥା ଏଇଆ ଯେ ମାନେ ଠାକୁର ଜାଣିଥିଲେ ଯେ କରିବା ଉପରେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ କେବେ ଉଠେଇବା କଥା ନୁହେଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯୋଉଟା କି ମୁଁ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଉଠେଇଦିଏ, ଠାକୁର କାହିଁକି ଏମିତି କଲ ବୋଲି। ଆଉ ଆଜିକାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଆଶ୍ଚର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଲାଗେ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଭୋଗ ଦଉଥିବି, ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଦିଏ, ମାନେ କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ ଏମିତି କରିଦିଏ, ମାନେ ଭୋଗ ଦିଏ, ଭାବେ ଯେ କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ କି କଣ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି, ଦିଏ। ଋଷି ପାଖରେ ବସିବ, କହିବେ ମାମା କଲା ଏଇଟା ଠାକୁର, ତମେ କଣ ମାନେ ସତରେ ଭୋଗ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରୁଛ? ମୁଁ ତ ଦେଖିପାରୁନି, ପିଲାମାନେ ମାନେ ଶିଶୁମାନେ ସରଳ ବୋଲି ତମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖା ଦିଅ, ହୁଏତ ସେ ଦେଖିପାରୁଛୁ, ଦେବୁନି। ଆମେ ଠାକୁର ଯାହା ଖାଇବେ ଆମେ ଖାଇବା, ଆମ ଖାଇବା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଦବା ଦିଅନ୍ତିନି। ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଏକଥା କହୁଛି, ସେ କହୁଛି ମାମା ଏ ଠାକୁର ଆ କରୁଛି, ମାମା ଠାକୁର ଆ କରୁଛି। ମୁଁ ଭାବିଲି ଠାକୁର ତ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଖେଳିବାକୁ ଭଲ ପାଆନ୍ତି, ହୁଏତ ବୋଧେ ମାନେ ତା ସହିତ ବୋଧେ ଠାକୁର ଖେଳୁଛନ୍ତି, ସିଏ ତ କହୁଛି ଏମିତି, ମୁଁ ତ ଦେଖିପାରୁନି, ହୁଏତ ଠାକୁର ବୋଧେ କରୁଥିବେ। ଆଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ବାହାରକୁ ଯାଉ ଆମେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଜଣେଇକି ଯାଉ ପ୍ରଣାମ କରିକି, ସିଏ ବି ଦୁଆର ମୁହଁ ହେଇଗଲେ କହିବେ ଦୟ ଗୁରୁ। ସେଇ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଆଜିକାଲି ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି, ଜଣେ କରିକି ପଳେଇବୁ। ସିଏ କହିବ ମାମା ଗିନି ମାନେ ବିନା ଗିନିରେ ସିଏ ହଉଛି ନାମ କୀର୍ତ୍ତନ କରିଦେବ, ତାକୁ ଗିନି ଦରକାର। ହଉ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଏତିକି ନିବେଦନ, ଏତିକି ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା, ତାକୁ ବି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଇଏରେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଭାବଧାରାରେ ପରିଚାଳିତ କରନ୍ତୁ, ଆମ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଭାବଧାରାରେ ପରିଚାଳିତ କରନ୍ତୁ। ଏତିକି ମୋର ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଶ୍ରୀଚରଣରେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ଏବଂ ନିବେଦନ। ଜୟଗୁରୁ।
ଜୟଗୁରୁ। ଆଜି ମୋର ଭାବ ବିନିମୟ ସେବା toughest part of my pali. I connect to Thakura through his songs. I love listening to his songs, and so I connect with Thakura more through his songs. And I'm quite lazy reading his books, honestly. And ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ translation review ସେବାଟା ନେଇଥିଲି particularly since last year, so that at least I will read few things, because I do not read books as much. So ସେଥିରେ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଏମିତି ହୁଏ କି କେତେଟା ଟଫ୍ ଚାପ୍ଟର ଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ଗଡ଼େଇ ଚାଲେ କି ହଁ କରିବି ଜ୍ଞାନ ଭାଇ ରିମାଇଣ୍ଡର ପଠାନ୍ତି। ଟଫ୍ ଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ଆଉ ସେଇଟା ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଲେଟ୍ କରିନି। ଠାକୁର ମତେ ଜେଣ୍ଟଲି ରିମାଇଣ୍ଡ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ଆଜି ଯେମିତି ପଢା ହେଲା କି ଉପଦେଶରେ I shall remain silent to observe hundreds of your good deeds, but I shall be very rigid to denounce your small mistake. ମତେ ଲାଗେ ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଥର ଅବଜର୍ଭ କଲିଣି ଏମିତି ହୁଏ ଯେତେବେଳେ especially ମୁଁ translation review ସେବାଟା reminder, then I feel it off and how my stress also goes away after that. सिंपल जनरली ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଇନଭାଇଟ୍ କରେ ମୋ ପାଳି ପାଇଁକା, from that downwards for the entire week ମୁଁ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରେ କେମିତି ପୂଜା କରିବି, ଆଉ ଭୋଗ କ'ଣ ରାନ୍ଧିବି, ମେନ୍ୟୁ ଫାର୍ମର୍ସ ମାର୍କେଟ ଯାଇକି ନେଇକି ଆସେ ଜିନିଷ ପତ୍ର। ସ୍ପେଶଲି ମୁଁ 2-4ଟା ଫାର୍ମର୍ସ ମାର୍କେଟ ବୁଲେ, କୋଉଠି କଖାରୁ ଫୁଲ ମିଳିବ କି and ପୋଇ ବେଟର ମିଳିବ କି and all that. But this week has been so hectic. And ଏତେ hectic ହେଲା କି ମୁଁ କିଛି ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରିନଥିଲି। ଜେନେରାଲି I plan almost a month ahead, ଆଉ ଭୋଗ ମେନ୍ୟୁ ଗୋଟେ ୱିକ୍ ଆଗରୁ ସବୁ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରେ। ଏଇ ୱିକ୍ରେ ଏତେ ବିଜି କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ ହେଲା ବି ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି, ବଟ୍ I could not plan anything until yesterday night. And generally ମୁଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ କ୍ଷମା ମାଗେ, but somehow everything just I did not do those any of it. So ସକାଳୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଉଠିଲି 3:30 ଉଠିଲା ବେଳକୁ I was having a really bad migraine out of the blue. And then ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବିନ୍ଧିଲା ଇଏ ପତ୍ର ଖାଇ ପକେଇଲି ଖାଇଲି ଅମୃତାଞ୍ଜନ ଲଗେଇଲି। I packed the ନିନ୍ଦରେ ବେକରେ ଛାନିଆରେ ବସିଲି and 4:15 ହେଲାଣି ମୁଁ ଯାଉନି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଡାକି ଠାକୁର କେମିତି କ'ଣ କହିବି, କାରଣ ଭାଇ ବି ସକାଳୁ ନିଖିଲର ଟୁର୍ଣ୍ଣାମେଣ୍ଟରେ ପଳେଇବେ, ତେଣୁ ଭୋଗ ରନ୍ଧା କେମିତି ହବ କ'ଣ ହବ, କାରଣ ମୋ ହେଡେକ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ମାଇଗ୍ରେନ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ା when it starts it lasts for 2-3 days and ମୁଁ କିଛି ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ୍ କରିପାରେ ମୋ ଡିଫିକଲ୍ଟ। ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖିକି ଆଜି ବନ୍ଦ କରିକି ବସୁଥିଲି। ତାପରେ ଯାହା ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ କମିଲା। ସେତେବେଳକୁ ଆରତୀ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲା। ମତେ ଆରତୀ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ। ଭାବିଲି କ'ଣ କରିବି, ଗାଧେଇନି, ମାନେ ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ଇନ୍ ଅଲମୋଷ୍ଟ 2+ decades of taking a ପାଳି ମୁଁ ଆଜି ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ସକାଳୁ ଗାଧେଇକି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ପୂଜା କରିପାରିଲିନି। ଆଗ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ଦେଖିଲି, ଆରତୀ ଦେଖିକି ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ସେସନ୍ ସରିଲା, ତାପରେ ମୁଁ ଗାଧେଇକି ପୂଜା କଲି। ଖରାପ ଲାଗୁଥିଲା କିନ୍ତୁ somehow ତାପରେ ଲାଗିଲା କି ନା ବୋଧେ ଠାକୁର ହିଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ, ଆଉ ମତେ ଜେଣ୍ଟଲି ରିମାଇଣ୍ଡ କଲେ କି ତୁ ପାଳି ନେଇଛୁ, କିଛି ଭାବିନୁ, ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରିନୁ ଲାଇକ୍ ବିଫୋର। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଯେମିତି ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବିନ୍ଧିକି and I got totally ସେତେବେଳେ ମତେ ସେଇ 1 hour ମତେ ବହୁତ କେମିତି ଲାଗିଲା କି କେମିତି କଣ ଆଗକୁ ଆଜି ଦିନଟା ଯିବ ବୋଲି, ବଟ୍ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କଫୁଲି ଏବେ ମୋ ହେଡେକ୍ ବି ପଳେଇଲା ଆଉ ସବୁ ଠିକ ଅଛି and I'll be able to Jaguru. I invite Shri Thakura for Madhyana Bhoga at the end of this session and for puja later in the evening. Jaguru.
Jai Guru. On behalf of Gyanbai, I invite Shri Thakura, all young Bhais, Mas, and young aspirants of America Saraswata Sangha to our next be held on Sunday, April 14th, 2024 at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Please join the puja and make it a success. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. ପ୍ରାଣର ଠାକୁର ଭକ୍ତ ଭାଇ ମା ଓ ପିଲାମାନେ, ଆମର ସଂଘର ଆସନ୍ତା ଅଧିବେଶନ ଏପ୍ରିଲ 14 ତାରିଖ ଦିନ ଅନୁଷ୍ଠିତ ହେବ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଏବଂ ସମସ୍ତ ଭାଇ ମା ଓ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ କରୁଛି। ମୁଁ ସଂଘରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ରହି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସେବା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଏବଂ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି ଏବଂ ଅନ୍ୟ ଭାଇ ମା ମାନେ ଯାହା ତାଙ୍କ ସେବା पूर्ण କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଠାକୁର ନିକଟରେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
Jai Guru. On behalf of all Paliyas and Sevakas and Sevikas in today's puja, I beg forgiveness from Shri Thakura and all of you for any mistakes committed knowingly or unknowingly. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Deenanath bhiksha Pare Sri Charane Deenanath bhiksha Kare Sri Charane Pada Katha Ithibi Manani Smarani Deva Tava Katha Rakhi Thibi Manani Smarani Bahari ki hilana Nakari Sochana Bahari ki hilana Nakari Sochana Karibi Prathame Nija Swabhava Majona Deva Karibi Prathame Nija Swabhava Majona Paradosh khoji boli na dhaiba mana Paradosh khoji boli na dhaiba mana Lagi thibi sada atma sansodhana natha Lagi thibi sada kari atma sansodhana Vachani alape heu na sanjata Vachani alape heu rasana sanjata Hunchi jau abasada Dehar
জড়ত্বনাথ ঘুঞ্চি যাও অবসাদ দেহর জড়ত্ব উচিত ভাষণে নহু କିଛି ଅନ୍ତରାୟ ଉଚିତ ଭାଷଣେ নহୁ କିଛି ଅନ୍ତରାୟ ଯଥା କର୍ମ ହେଉ ଚିତ୍ତ ଶୁଦ୍ଧିର ସହାୟ ପ୍ରଭୁ ଯଥା କର୍ମ ହେଉ ଚିତ୍ତ ଶୁଦ୍ଧିର ସହାୟ ନିରଳସ ଭାବେ ତବ ଆଦେଶ ପାଳନ ନିରଳସ ଭାବେ ତବ ଆଦେଶ ପାଳନ କରି ଯିବି ହେଉ ତହି ପ୍ରାଣର ସ୍ଫୁରଣ ପ୍ରଭୁ କରି ଯିବି ହେଉ ତହି ପ୍ରାଣର ସ୍ଫୁରଣ न मानिबी कहीं केउ मारण बंधन मानि जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय 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 गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु 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 जय गुरु
जय